Hello and welcome to Yota's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be making for you a cranberry apple orange cake. I had all the ingredients in my refrigerator a few years ago and I thought just throw them together, see how it comes out. I threw some spices in. The bread came out pretty good according to my taste. So I'm going to show you today how to make it, and I hope you like it as much as I do. Okay, the ingredients for my cranberry apple orange bread. Okay, and this is going to make a few loaves of bread. I chose to divide them into two large loaf pans and then 6 little ones, which would equal another 2 if you wanted to make 4 bread. So the ingredients are 5 cups of cranberries, so these are raw cranberries. These are 2 large apples or 3 small ones, whichever ones you can find. 2½ cups of chopped walnuts. I have 3 squeezed oranges. I measured it. It came to 1 1/3 cups. This is 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, 1½ cups of olive oil. You can use corn oil if you wish. I chose olive oil, or I choose olive oil because I like the flavor better. And in this container I have 2 cups of sugar, 6 cups of flour. This is the rind of 3 oranges. And right here I have 1 teaspoon of salt, 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, ½ teaspoon of allspice, ½ teaspoon of ground clove. I have 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 1½ tablespoons of baking powder. Okay, so let's start putting everything together. Okay, I'm getting ready to assemble my all my ingredients together, and the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to add the olive oil. And I'm not going to turn this on until I add the sugar, because otherwise I'm going to have olive oil flying all over the place. This batter, I'm adding the sugar. And then I'm just going to put it on low. And while that's happening, I'm going to add all my dry ingredients to the flour, and I'm going to mix them really well because I want them incorporated. So when I do put the flour in, everything's mixed together well. So I'm ready to add my vanilla extract. And I'm going to add only half of my orange juice, not all of it. And the reason I didn't add all of it is because it would be too much liquid in there, and I don't want too much liquid. So I'm going to put the flour in little by little, and then as it becomes a little thicker, I'll add the rest of the orange juice. I'm going to let it incorporate a little more, and then I'm going to add the zest, because if I wait too long it won't distribute evenly. So I'm going to let that blend in just a little bit. Just going to lift it. Remove all the batter from the whisk. Here's my batter. And I am going to incorporate everything in one at a time. And I'm going to start with the smallest going to the largest. And the smallest in this case would be the walnuts. You want it to be a little more pliable than what it is right now. So I am going to go ahead and get some orange juice out of the refrigerator and add this to this batter so I can work with it a little easier than I'm working with it right now. I'll be back shortly. Here's my batter, and I'm ready to put in the apples. And this will give it the rest of the moisture it needs, because even though Granny Smith is not a very juicy apple, it will give it the enough, it will give this recipe the extra moisture that it needs. So just continue mixing it until you have it all incorporated very well. And you do this by just folding it. Just keep folding it until you know that all the apples are incorporated well. And once that's done, add the cranberries and then do the same thing. Fold it in. I use vegetable shortening, and I flour them, and then I tap all the excess flour out. I already have all of them ready to go. My oven is at 350 degrees, and I will cook this for 1 hour. Okay, so here are my my breads. Of course, I don't have them in the oven yet. They're not baked, but I just finished filling all of them up. So the next step is just try to smooth them down if you can, just so they're even. So when they're baking evenly. You don't have like a ridge that's a little higher than the next, although that might happen. And then just with a wet paper towel, just clean all the edges, because that will, like right here, you see that? Just clean all that off, so that way as it's cooking, it's not browning and cooking on the side of the pan. Hello and welcome to Yota's Kitchen. So my cranberry apple orange breads are done. They look nice and brown. I just took them out of the oven, so they're a little hot. So here they are. I cut 3 of the little loaves, and they came out perfect. They're perfectly cooked all the way through. And there's enough pieces of walnuts, apples. It's just throughout the whole bread, and it tastes fabulous. Here is the little piece, and it's perfectly cooked. It smells, you can smell all the spices in it, and it really, I'm going to taste it, because you always hope the recipe comes out always the same every time you cook it, but you never know. You taste, upon biting it, you taste a combination of the cranberry, the sourness of the cranberry, and the orange. And at the same time, you're tasting all the spices and the walnuts. And the apple sweetens it just enough to make it taste balanced. I think you're really going to like this recipe. I hope you try it. And if you do, let me know what you think. I know the recipe is large, but if you have 4 loaf pans or bread loaf pans, you don't need all the little ones. I did it like this because my thought was to give them out as gifts. Although I'm probably gonna give them out as gifts, I'm not gonna give out the little, pans, because I'm gonna keep them for next time. But thank you for watching Yota's Kitchen. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I could really use your help. And Don't forget to like, share, comment. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. If I don't see you next time, have a wonderful, wonderful new year. I hope 2019 brings you all the best that exists in this world. Have a great, great day.